What's up, guys? I'm back and I'm in New Zealand. Psych, I'm actually just in my room, but I was in New Zealand. So let me back this whole thing up really quick. So I've always wanted to be an international student. Ever since I was little, it's always been part of my college experience. And so I finally sat down and decided I would do it spring 2020. And I went all the way to New Zealand, and oh my gosh, New Zealand was better than I could have imagined. Like, I seriously could not have picked a better place to go. But if you live anywhere in the world, you would know that this spring had a different plan for all of us. A plan under the name of COVID-19. So in this video, I will give you insight on what life was like as an exchange student during this crazy global pandemic, and kind of what me and countless other people had to deal with in regards to evacuating last minute and trying to get home. I just want to warn you, it kind of starts off rough. Alright, let me give you some background info on the very beginning, right before this week started, just so you kind of understand where I'm coming from in my first clip. So me and my best friend that I made down there, we went on a camping trip all weekend with like this club that was part of the university. So we were out in the middle of nowhere, out in the wop wops, and there was no cell signal, no anything. It was just us and the people we went hiking with, and we just camped and we were having a good time. The stars were beautiful. But anyways, there were a lot of other international students on that trip. And we all kind of like got together and found each other, you know, and we were talking about the week before and how some people were getting more and more worried about this pandemic that was growing. Because when I first went to New Zealand, it was just in like China and it was just barely starting to spread. But then that week it was starting to get worse in like America, and it blew up in Italy. We were just kind of talking about that and kind of our worries. So basically, me and my friend, we had one of our other best friends who like stayed behind, and we were just kind of joking on our way back. They're like, oh my gosh, what if we get back and like she's had to deal with a bunch of crap that's happened in the 2 days we haven't had cell signal. You know, it was just a joke. And then we got back to our apartment complex and she was gone. Like, she was back in the States already. So basically all the news from the whole weekend just hit me and my friend at once, because we were physically drained from hiking, and then our other friend that we had made was gone, and it was just a lot to handle. And I was so unsure about the future because all of my group chats had blown up with people having to go home, and it was just a lot to take in. So that's kind of how my week started. So, long intro, my bad. Let's just get started with the video. What's up? I'm a little bit of a mess right now, but I just found out that one of my best friends that I made here is already back in the States, and my other best friend is looking at booking a flight back to the States. And I know that my study abroad office opens back up tomorrow, and I'm just awaiting my email that's telling me that I'll be forced to go back to the US, even though I've only been studying here for 2 weeks. So update, we found out that the airlines are all shutting down March 30th, which is in 14 days. So everybody's freaking out that if they don't go home within the next 14 days, that we won't be able to go home in whoever knows how long. So people are scared of like how bad this is gonna get, and if they don't go home now, if they're gonna see their families. I didn't think it was gonna get this bad, but I don't know, I just feel like all the support systems that I put in place for myself in this country are all falling apart, and I'm just in like this state of not knowing what's gonna happen. So yeah, basically I was just kind of in a state of shock at first. I didn't know what was gonna happen. I didn't know who was gonna stay, who was gonna leave. Nobody knew what was gonna happen. Nobody knew what they were gonna do. Everybody's families were giving them different advice. Everybody's universities were giving them different advice, and it was just kind of a state of shock. So after I got over that, I kind of decided, you know what, I'm gonna vlog, because if this is my last day or my last week, I want to have some footage of me in New Zealand. So that's what I set my mind to do. morning. So this is the tiny little kitchen I've got to work with. I mean, it does its job. So it's been a pretty chill morning. I've just been checking my emails to see if I have to go home yet. I still haven't gotten anything, although I got an email from the US Embassy telling me that I should go home, but nothing from my school yet, so I'm still waiting for that email to come through because I know it's coming. Other than that, I've just been like cleaning up a little bit. I've been talking to my friend that's in Spain because he's preparing to go home. So we were just kind of like comparing what was going on there and what's going on here. I was talking to my sister too, just because she's a little bit worried about me. I'm honestly fine with whatever happens because I'm sick of being upset about it. Like, there are much worse things that could be happening. It is what it is, and if I do go home, I'll just be surrounded by my family and my friends, and I feel more secure with this whole pandemic happening, even if it's not as safe there. Because things are starting to happen here now, like festivals are being shut down. I don't know. I'm just like, sorry, I'm still anxiously just like looking at my email even as I'm talking. So, I've got this buddy with me that I'm gonna take to school, and I should probably head out soon. The hike to class from the little apartment complex they put me in is only like 15 minutes, but it's like straight up the hill. So it's really not that safe to be eating while you hike up it because you start breathing really heavily, but I do it anyways. It's always dark when I walk out here. A little bit windy today, not too bad. You'll learn when coming to the city that it's windy like every day, and you'll start to get creative with braids. I'm on the part of the hill that kills me literally every time I go to class. Oh. Okay, I could not pay attention at all in class today because I got the email right when class started, of course. Perfect timing, right? To get the email as I sit down. So I was reading the email in depth, and then I was sending it to all my friends and family who've been waiting for my update. And oh my god, that's so pretty. So I was updating everybody, and then I got into some deep conversation with my friend who's like in Spain. He just kind of reiterated some of the things that I was already thinking about. Like, is it worth me staying here if the city were to shut down to the point where all I could do is go to the grocery store and back, and I wouldn't have any friends or family, so I would get pretty isolated. So that's what's like really weighing on me. Like, should I just go home so that if this pandemic gets worse, which I feel like it will get worse, I'll be surrounded by people who care about me and can support me? Or should I stay here in case it blows over, but then just being isolated? The email that I got from my school was different than I thought. It just kind of said, we strongly encourage everybody to come home, but it wasn't like required that we come home. Granted, I don't think I'm fully in the clear because a friend of mine got that type of email a few days ago, and then 2 days later she got an email telling her she had to come home. So I could still have to go home. It's still very out in the open. I feel like I should try to stay here until I'm forced, basically. I don't know. I don't really know what to do. I feel like these are decisions that I shouldn't have to be making, but it is what it is. But yeah, since I can't really focus on schoolwork today, I think that I really need to go grocery shopping because I'm afraid that there won't be any food there and I don't have any food here. So I think I'm gonna go grocery shopping and then I need to do some laundry. And yeah, I'm just sad all my friends are leaving. I know, it's really interesting stuff. I'm just living it up out here. My friend just invited me over for dinner, so I'm bringing my bowl before she leaves on Friday, which is really sad. So in order to go to different floors in the elevator, you have to like swipe your card to hit the button, and I'm on the 3rd floor, so I only have access to that. And my friend's on the 4th floor, so we just get in the elevator and wait until our friend hits the button, and sometimes it's really awkward because other people just get in the elevator and they wonder why we're just standing here. But that's the only way to cheat the system. So I'm just standing in the elevator with my empty bowl and fork and my bottle of cider. We're going up. I think she hit the button. Hello. Welcome to the vlog. We just kind of hung out that night and ranted about everything that was happening. We talked about what we were gonna do. She for sure was going home on Friday. I at that point still didn't know what I was gonna do. So that was that night. I forgot to vlog, but anyways, back to the video. So I'm still at school because I have 4 classes today. I've been FaceTiming my friends for the past hour because they're all back home in the States and they're all in quarantine and they're really bored. And I'm charging my laptop because it died and enjoying my sandwich. So it's crazy back home, so I'm gonna try to stay here as long as I can. Earlier today, one of my friends that I haven't seen in a few days came by, and I was like so relieved to see her because I thought she had been forced to go home to the States. She looked kind of like a wreck because I could tell she was really stressed out about everything, and she said that her program was shutting down, but her school wasn't making her come back. So she literally like doesn't have a place to live, and everything is just like really crazy. So now I'm hoping that my program doesn't close because then I'd have to go through all that as well. Anytime I get a little bit of normality, something just comes and takes it, so. On Wednesdays, there's supposed to be a lot of good deals and stuff in town, so Faith and I are gonna go to a boba tea place. Faith, how are you gonna feel saying goodbye to this hill? So happy. So then Faith and I just went to our lab, but everything had been kind of quiet for a few days, so I was starting to get more hopeful that it would kind of die down and I would stay. It was starting to feel a bit more normal. I was sad that Faith was leaving, but I still felt pretty sure that I was gonna stay. But man, I did not know what was coming on Thursday. Dang, as soon as I thought I was getting more in the clear, everything just got turned upside down again. So my program just got canceled, which means I won't have any housing or insurance or any support, so I have to go home. Okay, well, I'm gonna go call my parents to figure out my plan. So I just got off the phone with my family, and after reading the email, we realized I only have 5 days to get out of the country, because in 5 days I'm gonna get kicked out of my housing and they're gonna take away my insurance. So I need to leave within the next at least 3 to 4 days, basically. So I'm gonna spend the morning emailing my teachers to see how many classes I can take online from home and just trying to figure out flight situations. I got a flight for tomorrow. However, I have a 23-hour layover. So I'm definitely gonna get sick sitting in that airport because all the cases have come from airports. So that'll be fun. I've just been emailing all my professors. Oh look, another thing from the embassy. So now I'm just working on packing. So I thought I'd make the most of my last day here, so I'm gonna go to the WETA workshop. So I booked my ticket and I'm headed there now. It's just the last minute. I'm trying to be more flexible.
And then you make me stand guard at the bedroom door. I wanna know everything you do. No, I'll never mind. Do it 1,000 times. Just let me close to you. Cause in the dead of night, with you by my side, there's no word that could cut through.
Nothing's going my way.
Do you miss me too? Wish you were in my room. I just can't shake this all if I won't try. And will you fly back to me? There's no one we gotta see, no. There's no other place we should be. There's no other place we should be. I talk a lot of shit for someone that can't talk, and you send it back to my face, love. You never pull punches and never will stop. I hope you never do, babe. No, I'll never mind. Do it 1,000 times. Just let me close to you. Cause in the dead of night, with you by my side,
I'm gonna be packing all of this up into that bag and that bag tonight. Ooh. Alright, I'm going out with Faith. We're gonna go get crepes and ice cream for our last night here. I just realized that I can't keep thinking about all the things that I'm missing out on and all the stuff I didn't get to do. Instead, try to focus on like all the good things that I've done that I wasn't even expecting to do. And like, because I've made a lot of good memories here, even though I haven't been here that long. So that's what I'm trying to focus on, but it comes in waves. It's apparently my last night in Wellington, and considering the circumstances, it's been a pretty good last night. We're gonna take the same shuttle to the airport tomorrow because our flights are at about the same time. So now I just need to pack up everything because I was definitely too sad to pack earlier today, and I had to stop and just go out and do something. If anything, my time abroad has taught me how to be flexible because, you know, you wake up one day and the day can go one way or it can go a completely different way. It is what it is. I'm not completely packed up, but I say I did a pretty good job. I've also got all of this stuff to give away. I really wish I could just bring the toilet paper to the US with me because apparently it's a hot commodity right now. I don't have room. So those were my last few days in Wellington. Right after we got that ice cream, we headed back to the apartment complex to get our stuff and start our journey home. I'm gonna make the journey home a part 2 video, so please come back next week to see the rest of my journey.
And they say if we'll only avoid any confrontation with the enemy, he'll forget his evil ways and learn to love us. All to oppose, all to oppose.
So the RAs caught our building on fire doing a barbecue. Literally 5 trucks, Faith. How do you feel?
It's been a rough 2 weeks. I'd like to start at that.